Well, welcome back. Welcome back to Keep On Creating. I'm Mike and this is my t-shirt printers, and if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so you know when a fresh episode lands. So normally I start off by saying this week we're going to be doing, well, last week we actually made this design over here, which came out pretty cool, and we made some patches. Well, I made some patches out of them and some cool caps. I really like this logo. Anyway, so while doing that, I kind of mentioned that it would be a good idea to try and do this as a poster design. Take the simplistic design that we created over here and make this into a poster, or do some poster options. So in this episode, what we're going to be doing is taking that design and basically riffing up a few different poster style designs. So you're going to be watching basically literally over my shoulder and see how I kind of rip this thing apart and build up a few poster options, and let's just see where it takes us. Let's do this. So this here was our final graphic that we created when we were doing our patch. So if we just zoom in here, you can see it's got our squeegee in it, it's got our text running at the bottom, and it's got these blocks of color, that gradient blocks of color. So what I want to do is I've just grouped all these together so you can see everything in here is grouped together. So basically select those two layers over there, and I just said Command G and it just created a group of them together. Let's just move these to the top of our page. So I'm just going to make a backup copy of it there, and I click on that, hold down Alt, click and drag, just make another copy of it so we can really take all the elements out of this one that we need. So let's just take, which is going to be this one here, I'm just going to drag that to the bottom so we just keep a hierarchy. Okay, so with this one here, let's just open it up and open it up again and open it up again, and just take out our squeegee graphic, and I'm going to move that squeegee graphic and the text out of this group here. So just click that and drag all the way right up here in between those two, so you can see how basically it's got that big bar running across the top of that section there. It's not hidden within over there, it's right at the top. So I'm just going to drop that there and let's just drag it out to here, and just make this create a bit. We're going to make that black. Okay, so that's, it was black, so we've got our create a bit, got our squeegee. Let's just keep this bit over here just in case we need to come back to it, and then we can make a page. So a general poster size, we're going to be looking at something like this. Okay, just make sure it doesn't have a stroke on it, which it doesn't, and let's just make this a nice even number here. So let's just make it the width of 60 and the height of, let's go 80. So 60 by 80, that's your general poster kind of shape. Because this is vector, we can come and tweak these things if it was for something specific, but for now that is the element that we're going to be working on there. Let's just make this color, I'm just going to bring up our colors, and I've got a whole bunch of colors up here, and I'm going to make this one the background of blue, because we've got quite a bit of blue here and a blue there. Again, I've just gone and colored the stroke, take the stroke off, bring the fill to the front so we stop clicking on that stroke color. Okay, so what we're going to do is I am taking our squeegee here, got a creator. I just want to simplify the squeegee down a bit before we jump into it. So I'm just going to open this up, open our squeegee graphic. Okay, there was another version that we actually created with this side here looking exactly the same as this side here. Let's just make a duplicate of this. So I'm just going to drag my move tool, which is this tool over here, just drag a big selection over the top of that, hold on Alt, click and drag. Okay, just make a duplicate of it, and let's just go into here. Okay, take all these little bits here, I want to add them all together so they're one element. So I've just selected all my black parts, so all the black lines, you can see all those black lines, and I'm just going to add them all together as one graphic there. So that's one graphic, and then you can see we've got those two rectangle bits at the bottom there. Now for this one here, I actually want to delete this bit over here, that little handle part there, because if we're looking in straight on, kind of don't need that, and I think it'd be a good idea just to do a copy of that while we can up here that we can just drag from. So open that group up, select this cursor over here, take that out. We can take that white piece out there, just click it there, delete that bit, these two sections over here, so those two lines there. Okay, I'm just going to drag them, make them bigger. This section over here, I need to drag it out. Now the way to drag it out wouldn't be just to click and drag it out, because you're making this line here basically thicker and wider. So if I just drag it in, you can see how thin that line goes there. It's not keeping it in proportion. So basically what we want to do is select this line, over here, select that group over there, that rectangle, hit A to get your node tool up, which is this tool over here. Click and drag your selection over all of that, and I'm just going to drag it out till it snaps to that line there. And likewise for this side here, just make it nice and symmetrical. Okay, so there we go. And then on the inside here, we will have that little rectangle bit, which is going to be there. We're just going to have to drag that out a little bit. Otherwise, if I just put in color here, you can see I've got that little white bit there. We just need to tuck that underneath that bit there and just make it white again. Okay, that's gray. Let's make it white. Okay, so that's now white. So now we've got this squeegee here. Let's just simplify it. Click all those curves, add them all together. Okay, and then those two bits there, we'll just leave them as they are. Now we've got our basic elements we can pull from. We've got our poster, we've got our squeegee graphic number 1, we've got a squeegee graphic number 2, we've got this to refer to, and then the final concept that we had from our previous video. I'm just going to make that dark black. Okay, so option 1, let's click and make a selection of this one. So click that, hold down Alt, click and drag, and let's start off over here. Now we could make a direct knockoff of the one we've created here, where we grab our squeegee like so. I'm just going to hold down Alt, click and drag so we don't lose that. Now to bring it to the top, all we need to do is go Command Shift and then close square bracket, brings it to the top. Okay, and basically what it was, we had 1, 2, 3 sections over there of color, and this big block of red at the top and a big block of blue running on the bottom there. So what we wanted to do, we just make this a little bit bigger. So hold down Alt and Command and just click and make that nice and big. Okay, probably just tuck that in a little bit there. Just move it off to the side with your move tool. Okay, get your rectangle tool, which is this tool over here. Gonna click over here and just drag all the way to the top. Okay, and let's just divide that up by 3 sections. So head over here to your transform tool, and where the height is over there, we just let it do it dividing all by itself. Divide that by 3. Okay, and that one would be your orange. Just gonna get my move tool up again, V, hold down Alt, click and drag, snap it there, Alt, click and drag, snap it there. So that's going to be my yellow, and this is going to be my mid orange. Just drag them in a little bit, bring our squeegee to the top, Command Shift, close square bracket. Okay, and then drag this one, Alt, drag, drop it here, nice and big, and make that your red section. Okay, now with all of those bits, head over to your layers again. Okay, make our layers a bit bigger so we can see what's going on here. So this is our squeegee, that's our rectangle we're going to be dealing with. Just going to move that to the top so we know which one. Grab all of these elements. So we've got our squeegee, rectangle, 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 rectangle. Put them into there to clipping mask them, and we've got our same sort of effect there. We can grab our creator text, Alt drag it so we don't lose it, bring it to the front, make it white, and we can just pop that in there. Okay. So that could be, just going to nudge it over a little bit. So that could be option 1. So that would be directly the same as what we did up there. Okay, so just going to leave that there, and with all those elements there, I'm just going to group them. So just go Command G, and let's just label this one poster 1. So that could be our first post option there. So going on to number 2, what we can do is, I just want to sort this out here quick because we're getting quite messy. Just close all these. Right, just, yeah, that's cool. Okay, so option 2, what we could do is let's just grab our poster again. So click and drag that in here, just pop it over here, and let's just grab this squeegee this time. So grab this group, just Alt drag it so we don't lose our master copy, bring to the front again, and let's just go Option, Command, just drag that in, make it to there. Okay. Now what I want to do is find the center of our rectangle here. Kind of want to do, explaining what I want to do here is I want to make a burst coming out from underneath our squeegee, so kind of like triangles coming out. So what I'd like to do is find the center of this graphic over here. So basically what I need to do is have my ruler switched on, which is this view, and you drop down to show rulers and make sure that is switched on. So I've just switched mine off, switched them back on, and now I know where the center of this is because I've clicked on this. I can see where more or less the center is. I'm going to click that, drag it out, and it should snap to the center there. So that is going to be my center point there. Just check, make sure, yep, that's there. Okay, so with the center point selected, what I actually want to do here is just move that to the center. What I actually want to do here is make kind of colors coming out at an angle over here. So kind of like a triangle, rectangle tool. So we could use the triangle tool, which is this tool over here. We could use that, or we could just draw it with our pen tool. So I'm just going to get my pen tool up. It's going to be quicker for me to do this. I'm going to click over here. Click all the way down to my poster over here and click there, and just close my triangle off by clicking over there. Now what I need to do, let's just make this another color for now. I'm going to make this green color here so we can see. Because we've got all these colors going over here, we've got this red color, orange, lighter orange and yellow. So there's four basically colors over there. I want to put these 4 colors coming out over here. So what we need to do is, if we're going to have the center area in this section over here, we're going to have that as yellow, then we're going to need 3 colors this way and 3 colors that way. So that makes 7 colors. So get my rectangle tool up. I'm just going to make sure it snaps to the end there, snaps to the end there. Just head over to transform, get my width, divide that by, we said 7, and that is going to be my divisions. I'm going to need 7 blocks of those. So a quick easy way, let's just get our rulers exactly how we did with the middle bit. Get my move tool, just click and drag that across. Click and drag that across. You could just do this with your blocks, but it's not going to be great for later on when you're trying to snap it to these little areas in the bottom of your artboard there. Okay, so let's do that, grab that there. Okay, we can delete those 2. And now what we need to do is, let's make this triangle here, the solid red color that we used. Okay, I'm just going to go copy, and I'm going to go paste. So Command V, Command C, Command V. Okay, and I'll just scale this in. So scaling it in, holding Option, and you'll see I'll be able to easily snap to that guide that we created there. And let's just make this orange color. Okay, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Command C, Command V, make it our next orange color. Just go to those edges there. Command, drag it into the next guide. Command C, Command V, drag it in, holding that command to our next guide, and make that our yellow color. So now we've got this rainbowish type effect going on here, this gradient cool effect going here. Just bring our squeegee to the top. Command Shift, close square bracket, and bring that to the top. So now it's looking quite cool. So basically what I'd actually like to do is get my move tool up, just hide these rulers, Command semicolon, and we could take that, I like that rectangle, those lines there to basically intersect right there. So it's an easy way to do that, to bring up our layers palette, just make sure we can see them, select all of our triangles that we've selected, hit A to get your node tool up, and just select over that there. Now that's going to select all those nodes up in that section. I'm going to click them, and you'll see I can just easily adjust, but dragging all the way up, just holding Shift to keep it. Okay, so just as that squeegee basically starts to curve right there, I just want it intersecting right there. So we've got this whole group of color going, bursting out of this squeegee. Now obviously I don't want this bit at the top over here, so let's just block that off. So we hit M or get your rectangle tool, which is this tool over here, and let's just draw a block like so, and make that blue. Okay, and let's just send that to the back with all of our layers over there. So how are we going to do that? We just click that and just drag it, should go above those like so. Cool, so then we've got that effect there. With all these little triangles that we created, we can just get them and make sure we get our poster, which is, this is our poster here. We can drag that all the way to the top, get our squeegee, get our rectangles, everything there, and just pop them into that group there. So now we've actually basically made that clipping mask exactly the same way as we did basically in that previous video, so where we just create that clipping mask within our group over here. So this is actually going to be poster 2. Okay, and obviously we need our creator text in here. We're just going to grab that creator text, hold on Alt, drag it, bring it to the front, and just put that there like so. Okay, making sure that's just nicely justified to our squeegee, and obviously let's just make that white. Now we've got that option there. That's looking pretty cool. Okay, so just delete all these little extra bits that I'm doing. Just get your move tool, make sure it's select everything and just group it all together. I'm gonna label that poster 2. Probably labeled that twice already. Yep. So that's going to be our poster option 2. Now what we could actually do with this poster, seeing that is quite stock, if we want to add a bit more dimension to this, we could basically take this, I'm going to hold down Alt, just make a duplicate of it. Okay, just duping. Let's just label this poster 3 so we don't get confused. Okay, and I'm going to open this up and just label this layer so I don't get confused there. Okay, so what we need to do is I'm going to open this guy up here. I am actually going to make this squeegee, let's make it a bit bigger. So Command and Shift, no, just Command, because everything's grouped together. I'm going to move it a little bit higher. Take this creator, move it a little bit higher. Now we've obviously got that rectangle here. It's going to snap that up there. And I'm going to get our triangles here. And what I want to do with all these triangles, so I'm going to select all those triangles there. So hold Shift, select all those triangles. I am going to make them really wide. So I'm going to hold down Command and drag them out really wide. Then I'm going to bring this down. Okay, now we're starting to create a bit more dimension. Just zoom in here. Just to that point where it touches it. Now that looks, to me, that looks a whole bunch better than that one. It's just got that like effect to it. Okay, that's cool. And what we could actually do is, because it's quite solid color under here, we could actually go into our squeegee, which is this group over here, and forget that squeegee color. We could make it blue. That looks sick. We could make it blue. We could make it this yellow color. I'm liking that blue. We could just leave it as blue, and that looks awesome. So that's option number 2. This one's kind of chucked out the window. That one's my go-to one. Let's create a last final version with this one here, or elements of this one and elements of the first one, because I'm liking this one with that effect in here. So what we could do is let's create another canvas for us to work on. So I'm alt clicking in that and bringing it in. Let's bring in a squeegee. Okay, Alt drag that in, make sure it's to the top. Okay, let's bring it in, just hold down that Command, bring it in there, just make it really nice and big, nice and central. Cool. Okay, so what we want to do is, I kind of like that effect that we had there with this in here. So what we could do is, let's just zoom in here, go into this group of our squeegees. So that's our first rectangle. We can make that blue. Then we could make this section over here. So I'm going to get my rectangle tool and I'm just going to draw a rectangle from here all the way in there. And just make that yellow. Just going to hold down Alt, click and drag. Just expand that out a little bit with that node there. Make this our orange. Click and drag. And make this a little bit here. Let's actually, in fact, let's go red, orange, that orange, this orange here, and this next one here is going to be our lighter orange, and this one here is going to be our yellow color. So we've got a gradient going there. Now let's grab this section over here. Let's just make sure that we're happy with our size before we do this. I'm just going to grab this text, Alt drag it in here, bring it to the top, just scale it in so it snaps nicely to the edge of that, nice breathing room between the two. Okay, 2 points. Obviously, if you want to come back and depending on how we're going to tweak this and to what size we're going to tweak this, you'd want an equal area to this area up here and to that area there, just to make it nice and symmetrical. So let's just bring that there, so create it nice and big. Then what I want to do is this bottom section here, I'm going to take it all the way to the bottom over here, and I'm going to head over to my transform tool. I'm going to break this into our stages of color, of which we've got 4 stages. So I'm going to take a height over here, and I'm simply going to just divide that by 4, and this is going to be our red bit, or could make it our yellow bit to join on there. Let's see which way we go. So I'm going to basically make this as big as our page. Okay, get our pointer tool, alt drag that down, just snap it to that one, make this our deeper orange, alt drag it down, mid orange, alt drag it down, and this would be our yellow bit. So we could do that, and that looks pretty sick. I mean, we'll just have a look and see how it goes the other way. That's pretty sick. I think what I'd actually like to do though here is take this here, and I'm going to reverse it back around to the way we had it, but let's reverse this section around here. So let's open this up. When I mean reverse, I mean let's start off with a red here and work up to yellow. So it's just not so overpowering with all that red. So let's get our yellow bit and our squeegee, which is this section here. Let's make that red. Next one up is going to be our lighter orange, which it is dark orange. Well, no, that's going to be our dark orange. This next one here is going to be our lighter orange. And this next one here is going to be our yellow color, and I think that's a little bit more appeasing to the eye. So there are our 4 poster options, but this one here I'm going to actually ditch, and let's bring those in there. So there are 3 poster options that we now created out of our patch. So we've got our patch coming along over here, we've got our posters coming along over here, and these look pretty cool. And that's how to create some poster options out of our cool logo. Now, if you've gone and created a logo number 1 similar to this one, send it over. If you've done some poster options, if you've done some poster options like this, send it over. I'd really like to see it. Head on over to the Keep On Creating group. I'd dig to see it, or just send me a DM. Still like to see it. And with all of that said, make sure to follow us on our social channels, all shown here below, not linked. I got it right this time. And subscribe, smash that like button. And until next time, keep on creating, and I'm out of here.